Herbert James Draper, born in 1863, was an English painter who specialized in neoclassical subjects inspired by ancient Greek and Roman mythology. His career spanned from the late Victorian era to the early 20th century, and he achieved fame and recognition for his skillful and imaginative depictions of gods, heroes, nymphs, and sirens. Draper showed an early interest in art and received his formal education at the Royal Academy of Arts. In 1889, he won the Royal Academy Gold Medal, which enabled him to visit Rome and Paris and study the works of classical and modern masters. It was during this time in which he developed a fascination with mythology and its symbolism. Draper's most productive period began in 1894, when he started to exhibit his mythological paintings at the Royal Academy and other venues. He was influenced by the Pre-Raphaelites, especially Edward Burne-Jones, as well as several French academic painters. He combined realism and idealism in his style, creating scenes that were both faithful to the ancient sources and rich in color, light and emotion. One of the most famous paintings by Draper is the Lament for Icarus, which depicts the tragic moment when Icarus falls from the sky after flying too close to the sun with his wax wings. Draper painted this masterpiece in 1898, after winning a gold medal at the Paris Salon for his previous work, Ulysses and the Sirens. He was inspired by the Greek myth of Icarus and Daedalus, who escaped from the labyrinth of King Minos by making wings out of feathers and wax. Draper spent a considerable amount of time researching the details of the myth and the ancient costumes and settings. The painting became a huge success and earned Draper many accolades and commissions. Another masterpiece by Draper called Ulysses and the Sirens, 1909, depicts the hero Ulysses tied to the mast of his ship as he listens to the enchanting song of the sirens, who try to lure him to his doom. The painting shows Draper's mastery of composition, perspective and anatomy, as well as his use of vibrant colors and contrasts. The Golden Fleece, painted in 1904, illustrates the myth of Jason and the Argonauts, who sailed to Colchis to retrieve the magical fleece guarded by an evil dragon. The painting focuses on the moment when Jason is about to slay the beast with the help of Medea, the sorceress who falls in love with him. The Water Nymph, 1908, portrays a beautiful nymph emerging from a pool of water surrounded by flowers and foliage. This painting is an example of Draper's skill in rendering female beauty and sensuality, as well as his attention to detail and texture. Draper's interest in mythology was not only aesthetic, but also intellectual and spiritual. He was well versed in classical literature and culture, and he often consulted original sources such as Homer, Ovid, Virgil and Apollodorus for his paintings. Moreover, he read contemporary works on mythology, such as The Golden Bough by James Frazer and The Mythology of the Aryan Nations by George Cox. He believed that mythology was a universal language that expressed the deepest human emotions and aspirations, and that it could offer amazing insights into the nature of life and death, love and beauty, fate and free will. Draper's paintings of mythology are not mere illustrations of stories, but rather interpretations and expressions of their meanings and messages. He often added his own details and variations to the original myths, sometimes creating new scenes or characters that were not present in the sources. For example, in his painting The Lamia, 1909, he invented a young boy who accompanies the Lamia, a snake-like creature who seduces men and devours them. The boy represents the innocence and curiosity of youth, contrasted with the Lamia's deception and malice. Draper also used mythology as a way of exploring subconscious themes, such as chaos, creation, heroism, and transformation. He often portrayed his mythological figures as sensual and erotic, especially the female ones, who were usually nude or semi-nude. He challenged the Victorian norms of morality and modesty by depicting women as powerful agents, who could seduce, manipulate or resist men according to their own desires. He also reflected the imperialist ambitions of his time by painting exotic landscapes and cultures that were influenced by his travels. He showed an admiration for many ancient civilizations. Draper's paintings of mythology are not only beautiful and captivating, but also complex and profound. They reveal his artistic vision and his personal worldview, as well as his engagement with the cultural and historical context of his time. They invite the viewers to enter a world of fantasy and wonder, but also to reflect on their own realities and values. They are examples of how mythology can inspire art and how art can enrich mythology. Another anecdote that shows Draper's interest in mythology is his involvement in the decoration of the ceiling of the Royal Naval College in Greenwich. In 1903, Draper was commissioned to paint one of the 4 panels that represented the 4 elements: earth, air, fire and water. Draper chose to paint water, and he decided to depict a scene from the Roman myth of Neptune and Amphitrite. He painted Neptune, the god of the sea, riding on a chariot drawn by sea horses, accompanied by his wife Amphitrite, the goddess of the sea, and surrounded by various marine creatures and nymphs. Draper used bright colors and dynamic composition to create a vivid and lively image of the underwater world. He also used his own wife as a model for Amphitrite, as he often did for his female figures. A third anecdote that demonstrates Draper's interest in mythology is his friendship with Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, the famous author of Sherlock Holmes stories. Draper and Doyle met in 1912, when they were both members of the Society for Psychical Research, a group that investigated paranormal phenomena. They shared a common interest in spiritualism and occultism, as well as in mythology and folklore. They often exchanged letters and visited each other's homes. Draper even painted a portrait of Doyle in 1914, which is now in the National Portrait Gallery in London. Doyle admired Draper's paintings and praised them in his writings. He also encouraged Draper to write his own stories based on his knowledge of mythology. Draper followed his advice and wrote several short stories that were published in magazines such as The Strand and The Idler. Some of these stories were based on Greek myths, such as the return of Persephone and the judgment of Paris. These anecdotes show that Herbert James Draper was not only a talented painter but also a passionate student of mythology. He used his artistic skills and imagination to bring to life the stories and characters that fascinated him. He also shared his enthusiasm with others through his paintings, writings and friendships. Draper suddenly died of arteriosclerosis at his home on Abbey Road in 1920, at the age of 56. His popularity faded in later years, as public tastes changed and mythological themes became less fashionable. However, he has recently been rediscovered by art lovers and collectors, who appreciate his originality and craftsmanship. If you're enjoying the content so far, I would really appreciate it if you could take a moment to subscribe to our channel. By subscribing, you'll be the first to know when we upload new videos, and you'll never miss out. Also, don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. It really helps out and lets us know that you're enjoying the content. And if you think this video would be helpful or entertaining for someone else, please share it with them. Finally, make sure to hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Hitting the bell ensures that you'll always be notified when we upload new content. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.